and welcome to Beads Jar. Today I'm going to be showing you how I've made up my Mulberry Daedal bracelet using the new Paisley Duos we have in stock and the fabulous Tila beads. We've also got some half Tilas here and some Miyuki seed beads to make this fab bracelet up. I hope you enjoy the project as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. To make this beautiful bracelet, I'm going to be working with some size 8 Toho beads. I've got these half Tilas and full Tilas in the Miyukis. We'll also be using these size 8 rounds and the new Paisley Duos. I'll be making my frilly edge with the size 11s in the Miyuki seed beads, and as a fastener I'm going to be using this very twinkly Shambala bead in a 10mm. I'll be threading them onto the Fireline, which is a £6 Fireline in this case, and using my precision scissors to finish off the final parts. And onto the Fireline I've added a size 10 beading needle. You want to start your project with about 1.5 meters of Fireline. What I personally like to do to start my project is just make sure that my Paisley beads are going to be in the right direction first, and then we're going to start threading straight away. You can add a stopper bead if you wish, if you've done projects like this before, but we'll be quickly wrapping round, so it shouldn't slide too much to start with anyway. The first hole we're going to go through with our beading needle is on the Paisley Duo. So there's 2 holes on these, they're double holed. So we're going through the top hole on the wider part of the Paisley bead. So you go through with your thread, and then you're going to pick up one of the size 8 rounds, and then you're going to go through the Paisley bead on the top hole again on the widest part, but you want that bead so the 2 tapered ends are facing towards each other, like so. Another little tip, if you wish, is you can put some sellotape on your project just while we get started, so just on the tail end there, and that will give us a bit of movability as well when we're adding our beads on. So you're going to now pick up the first of our half Tila beads. Again, these have 2 holes. At this moment in time it doesn't matter because there's no front or back on these. So we go through and down our thread. It is going to sit over to the right hand side, and we're going to pick up one size 11 seed bead, and I'm coming back down that same half Tila bead with my thread. It might not all sit perfectly at this moment, but just keep going. So there we've got our half Tila and our seed bead, and you are wanting to go back through the next Paisleys. I'm just going to lay these so you can see what I mean, and they're going to go in the opposite direction to the first ones we did. So we're coming down through the holes this time, so through the largest edge of the Paisley, don't be pulling the tension on your thread too much at this point, because it will all need to have a bit of movement until we've got the beads positioned correctly. So we're building up this pattern. Pick up another half Tila, and a seed bead, and back through your half Tila. I'm also going to go through my first Paisley and the first round 8. So we're going up through those two. And pulling that in tight. I now need to add my beads that are going to be in the centre. So that's where we go to the Tohos in the luster. And that's going to sit in between these. This is what I meant by the movement. This will spread out our design a little. And then I'm coming back down just the one bead here. Whoops. My thread just caught around the top of that paisley, so we don't want that. It's just caught up at the top, so just bring that round and pull that down. So the thread should have come across as an arc between these two, and we pick up a new Toho and back again, so just through that. So we're creating a square within this first thread that we've done, like that. I want my beading thread and needle to be coming out of the top paisley hole to add my frill of size 11s. So in order to do that, I'm going to work from this side through that Toho, and up through the paisley bead. So that's where we're coming out with the hole. And now I'm going to add 3 of the seed beads in the gold. We come across the top of the paisley and then down through the second hole that we haven't been through yet. So my thread's coming out of the bottom of this paisley. I'm picking up another round and the first of our full Tila beads. Add in another size 11 and then through the bottom paisley. You now want to pick up another 3 of the size 11s and you're cutting across and through. In order to create the frill edge around the paisley. And now you need to be working back through the beads we've already threaded. So you're going up through that paisley and across through the seed beads. I've just got the 2 there, but we will need that third one as well. And down. Now we're going to come out of the Miyuki Tila bead. So let's just pull that through. So you can see our Miyuki Tila bead here, and I'm going to go up again on this one. And now we're picking up our next section of beads. So you're going to pick up your paisley and a seed bead. And we're going to pick up a half Tila and a size 11. And then you come back not through the size 11 but through the Tila the half tiller, and also your paisley bead here with the Miyuki now going to sit across the top of those two. So that half tiller is then bridging the gap between these two here. Go through the next seed bead and Miyuki. You can pick up your project to make this easier. I'm just trying to keep it as flat as I can so that you can see what's going on. So forgive me for making this look a bit awkward. So we're going to go down and out through the paisley. And we're picking up our next half tiller bead, seed bead, and then back through the half tiller. And then I'm picking up my next paisley. This time I'm going through the one hole with the tapered end, whoops, and then I'm picking up my seed bead and through and out at the top of the next paisley. So we've just come out of that paisley there. And I'm going to add the frill of the size 11s here. So 3 of those and back down through our paisley bead. And this is where you're going to add the next section with the 8s and the lustres, and you're going to continue this same theme along. So threading in that same way until you've got enough beads to complete your wrist size. Please bear in mind we're going to be adding 1.5 centimeters for the fastener, so you might want to take a little bit less length around the bracelet for that. And then I'll join you when we've got to that point and show you how we put the fastenings on both ends of our project. When you've finished threading all the beads and you've got the length that you wanted, as I mentioned last time, you are wanting to add a fastener which is going to cause 1.5 centimeters extra length, so I've not gone straight exact around my wrist but quite close so that there's a bit of slack as well. And as you'll notice, I've finished off where I've got the 2 paisleys facing in. So there we go. So we've got this part of my beads and I've put the 3 seeds and I'm coming out of my paisley bead, and now I'm going to be picking up again. So I'm going to pick up 3 more of these size 11 seeds, and I'm going to pick up an 8 bead. Now I've worked out for my Shambala bead I'm going to need 28 small seed beads to go around that so that it creates the perfect size fastener. So I've pre-counted them, so we've got 28 seed beads here. Okay. Now once you've got your 28 on, you're going to come back, but not through the beads, but through the size 8 with your beading needle to make that loop, and then we're going to pick up 3 through your paisley, pick up 3, and back through your paisley on the opposite hole. I'm also going to come all the way through the paisley, the 8, and out of the paisley again at the bottom. Now I really want to make sure that this is all secure, so now I'm going to take my time to go all the way up through these 3 paisley, 3 and around again until I'm coming out of these 3 on the opposite side where I'm going to do my finishing knots. So you can pick up your project so it's easier to thread, and you're just going to take your time to go all the way through these beads. When I've come out of the side of the 3 I mentioned, I'm now going to start tying off my thread. So I'm getting my thread and I'm using my beading needle to go through the fireline that's between the seed bead and the paisley. And as I pull on this thread, you'll notice a loop of fireline forming here. So I'm going to go through that loop, and I'm just going to gently pull so that that knot slips in between the seed bead and the paisley. So that's one knot, come through, and if I separate those you can see there's another thread running through, so we want to go under, create our loop in the fireline, through, pull that knot down, through the next 3 beads, and then I'm going to go all the way through again. So straight through those beads and out. So my thread's out of the bottom here. So I've got my 2 knots placed, and as you can see they're well hidden. We've been round our fastener to secure it twice. So now I'm happy to take away the excess thread. So use your scissors and just cut that away. And then we're moving to the opposite side of our project. So here we've got the loop end, and now we're going to be adding our Shambala. Right, so we're going to pick up the 3 and then the 8. I'm adding another 3 for aesthetic reasons under the Shambala bead, and then we're going to add 3 above it. Oh, I beg your pardon, I've skipped going through my bead. Let's just take those off. I jumped a little stage ahead of myself there, so let's just take these back to the 3 first ones that we'd put on. Trying to rush my project. So we've got the 3 and we're going to go through our paisley bead. I do apologise. Now we're picking up the 3 and the round, then the 3 seed beads and our Shambala. There we go. Take another 3 seed beads above the Shambala bead, and this time we're not going to go back through those 3, but we are going to go through the Shambala and the 3 below and the 8. So I've not gone through these 3 with my beading thread, but I have gone through Shambala, 3 and 8. I'm going to pull that in. And pick up 3. across to your Paisley. Pick up your next 3. And down through your Paisley. Through your 8 and out the bottom again. As we did on this side, I'm going to run around all this again. So up through here, Paisley, 3 beads all the way around again, and we're going to start tying my knots off on this side. Like I mentioned, get that so it's comfortable for you to hold, and then you're working through your beads. Here I'm knotting off. And then up. Second knot. Through those beads. And then back down again. We can take our thread away now. And the Shambala, to fasten this project, will just slip straight through this loop of 28 to give you that beautiful sparkly finish to your project. If you've enjoyed today's tutorial, remember to give us a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, why not subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see all of our latest designs and creations. Until the next time, bye bye.